Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to cover the results over the weekend. We had the Bushiroad Rumble Online for the V Premium format. We also had Bushiroad Spring Fest in Toronto, and as well as the Vanguard Deluxe held in Kyoto. Big shout out to Fuzzy again for all the infographics. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, so let's get into it. If you guys need any coaching for the BSF or BRO season, my Metafy link is in the bottom right hand corner. Feel free to hit me up and we can get started. So looking at the results for the AO Top 8 V Premium, we have 5 Gear Chronicle, which is no surprise. The format hasn't changed since Worlds. It is still the best deck in the format, but it's now beatable. Without the Colossus, your hand doesn't cut in half. This is what we expect. Along with 1 Grand Blue, which is 1 Night Rose, 1 Luard, and 1 Jewel Knight. Very, very interesting distribution there. And then the top 4 is won by a very well-known name. Big shout out to Anthony Shonchua. He is a multi-world finalist, absolutely crack player. First place was Steam Maiden. Wouldn't be surprised if it was similar to his worlds list. So big shout out to him. Art coming second with Luard. Third was Sackmaster with Steam Maiden, and fourth was Techno Eagle with Night Rose. Really, really cool to see non-Steam Maidens in the top 4. Something we haven't seen in a long, long time. Jumping to EU, straight after that was, pretty much a similar sight. We see 4 Gear Chronicles, which is 4 Steam Maiden, 1 Bermuda Triangle, 1 Great Nature, 1 Grand Blue, which was Beatrice, so Ghosties, and then also 1 Jewel Knight. So Jewel Knight's popping up twice now, which is very, very cool. First time we've seen Ange as well in the last 2 distributions, and Leopold as well. So very, very cool to see something that isn't Steam Maiden. And then looking at the top 4, well, look who it is. It's one of those 4 Steam Maiden pie charts again. So Ryan M with Steam Maiden, Dave Vec, what a beast this guy is with Steam Maiden. Third was Mark 1, WCC Mark 1, coming third place. Congratulations, buddy, on the prize card. And then Go JH with Steam Maiden. Yeah, nothing more to say there. It's not very surprising to see this deck being number 1. It's just super cracked deck. And maybe the problem isn't with Colossus. Then jumping to NA. NA is very, very spicy. So 3 Steam Maiden and 1 Mystery Flare. So I'm guessing it's some sort of Turbo Mystery Flare list. Very, very cool to see. Obviously, you know, Mystery Flare being banned in Premium, that is giving more incentives to run it in V and finding ways to, I guess, use the puppy that you get from the last shop challenge that we got for BCS, I think. So yeah, very, very cool to see. 1 Luard, 1 Raging Form or Raging Fall, 1 Night Rose, and 1 Malkuth Melek. Very, very cool to see all these super obscure decks, especially the Raging Form and the Malkuth Melek. Definitely not decks that you would see normally in the V Premium metagame. Jumping into the top 4, again, you know, Steam Maiden taking the top. This is Mervin, I think, 984 Smurf. Congrats, buddy, for getting the dub. And then Manlong, a name that is, you know, not a stranger to anybody. Playing Luard this time, not playing the best deck in the format. Coming second with Luard, so congratulations, Manlong. Third place was Gurgut-san with Steam Maiden, and then fourth was TW88 with Night Rose. So Night Rose, you know, making a big impact, Luard making a big impact, so it just comes to show that Steam Maiden isn't completely invincible, but, you know, coming into the later tables, you know, it's taken first place in all 3 formats. Well, all 3 regions. Cool. So that's pretty much the Bushiroad Rumble Online distribution. And then jumping now into Springfest. This is all the fun stuff. Because in a Springfest format, in terms of the decks that you bring, it might not just be 3 of the top decks. You know, you might have some variants in there. And this is what we see, right? So the first place team made it all the way. First place, the distribution was Minerva, Lutetia, and Eva. Second place was Ambition, and also with Minerva. And then the 2 decks that they brought was Roroa and Lutetia. So, you know, 2 of those decks have a repeat, but with Roroa coming second, that's very interesting. Third place was Asha with Magnolia, Eva, and Youthberg. And then fourth was For Real with Youthberg, Flagberg, and Eva. So a common trend, very high representation of Eva, something to expect going, you know, forward into the format. Obviously, this tournament, they didn't have access to Chronojet because of the 1 month, you know, hiatus period before you can play it. But we can definitely see already Eva making a huge impact with the support that is recently gotten. Youthberg is still there, but I think transitioning into, you know, the later parts of the season, we might see Youthberg drop, the introduction of Chronojet, and then as well Minerva still being a solid deck there too. Then V Premium. So this is where it gets spicy. The top team was Stephen Lee's team. Congrats. With Coping Festival, first place Steam Maiden, Luard, Leopold. This is the most meta lineup you could ever bring to a BSF for V Premium. Nothing more to say there. Second place was Lock the Vanguard with Luard, a Chaos Messiah list, and Steam Maiden. Pretty meta. Well, 2 out of the 3 is pretty meta, you know, as expected. Meta all the way, coming third place with Ange, Maidens, and Leopold. There is a, you know, discussion whether, you know, Ange is kind of there, and it definitely is, but the fact that, you know, 2 Leopolds being brought might become a trend later on in the season. And then this fourth team is pretty spicy. The RLE. So Harry, Cecilia Reverse, and Night Rose. My God. That is something you never see. Because to me, I think Harry is in a very difficult spot at the moment. It got Cutie Paratrooper as a PR, but it really didn't do much. And to see this is very, very interesting. Not something that you would see at a BSF, especially not in Australia anyways. So, you know, congrats to these players bringing their favorites to the tournament. Really, really cool to see. And then to Premium. So Premium had mostly super meta dog decks, you know, Barn Me Boys, big respect to the name, coming first place with Steam Maiden, Thavas, and Highlander. Second place was Generations with Highlander, a Deleter, as well as a Steam Maiden. So I'm guessing it's some form of, you know, Deleter with multi-givens and then using the stride to top 7 core 2. Yep, pretty expected to see. It's a really high roll deck, very, very aggro. But pretty much if you don't have the mechanisms to stop that deck, it's pretty disgusting. And then third place, 0-2 drop, any percentage. I don't think this team went 0-2 drop, that's for sure. Third place with Gridora DOTX. 2 decks that we definitely did not see, you know, on the rise in the metagame at all, coming, you know, third place with this team. And then a Highlander. And then Tid Helquai, man, big shout out to Tony from Yellow Card Vanguard. This is his team, bringing Highlander, Battle Sister, and Harry Nightmare Doll. So I think Harry Nightmare Doll was piloted by Megatrick. Pretty interesting list, so to say. I think that list ran 2 Harry and the Nightmare Doll, you know, ride down engine. I can kind of see why you bring the Harry. But yeah, it's just something very, very interesting into the development of Nightmare Doll, because Nightmare Doll has been always this deck where it's kind of been the same for a very, very long time, 3 to 4 seasons now, and you know, splashing the 2 Harry in, very, very cool to see. This will change, I think, once the History Collection comes out, and yeah, we'll see what evolves from that. The last tournament that happened on the weekend is the Vanguard Deluxe in Kyoto. So 11 Chronojet. Oh yeah, by the way, this introduces the new Messiah set. So the results here are, you know, pretty fresh. So this is something going forward, definitely a trend to kind of follow. So 11 Chronojet, 9 Messiah, as expected, you know, from the premium deck set. That's kind of what you expect to see, or the deck set in general, the Stride deck sets. So 11 Chronojet, 9 Messiah, and 9 Eva. Eva making a huge impact in standard across all regions of the world. 4 Ebisu, 3 Overlord, 3 Minerva, 2 Welstra. Welstra is a very strong deck with the new support in set 9. Megalonozuchi, which is the snake. 2 Maelstrom, which is pretty surprising. Maelstrom actually didn't get much support at all, and it kind of seemed lackluster, but you know, I feel that Maelstrom does compete against its counterpart Flagberg pretty well. One deck is, you know, very priest line, whereas Maelstrom is very conservative. So very cool to see, you know, the transition from Maelstrom to Flagberg, and then obviously the introduction of all the other decks as well. And then 1 Lutetia, Archite, and Leonorn. Very, very cool to see. We don't actually see very much Archite in any of the regions, to be honest. And now that Archite is popping up, quite interested to see what the builds are like. So the first place team took an Eva, an Ebisu, and a Chronojet, the most meta lineup you could ever bring. Yeah, these 3 are running rampant in Japan, and definitely on Bushiroad's watch list to see if they can do anything to these decks in standard. Second place took the Snake, Chronojet, and Messiah. Third place team Meat Rice brought Eva, Chronojet, and Ebisu, another super meta dog lineup. And then the fourth team, this is probably going to be the next upcoming super meta dog, you know, team composition, which is Eva, Messiah, and Chronojet. As to be expected, you know, these Stride deck sets are actually really strong. If you guys haven't picked them up already, definitely pick them up. Going into the future formats is definitely something that will continue to last a long time. If you brought Eva, you know, back in the day and you got your PRs, it's a long-lasting deck. These decks are gonna last a long time. Pretty much like Luard in the G era. If you picked up a Luard deck in G era, you still have the deck until now. Pretty operational. It's been, you know, viable for a very long time. And that's pretty much it for the tournament results this weekend. I'm not too sure on what's going on the next weekend. We might have a Spring Fest here and there, but I'm not too sure. I think we might have a break. But yeah, we'll see about that. If there are any results, I'll definitely cover them on this channel. If you guys like this video, hit a like, comment down below what you guys think of all the results over this weekend. Hit the like. If you haven't subscribed already, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.